Alright guys, Paul back here again with a brand new video and a little bit different this time. No WWE replica to review today. What this actually is a custom handmade belt made by Reggie Parks. It is a tag team belt. So this is based off of the classic tag team belt used by WWF, made originally by Reggie Parks. Actually, I should say, for those unaware, Reggie Parks was the original maker of many of the classic belts. So we're talking the classic IC, the Hogan 84, 85, 86, and probably the most famously, the Winged Eagle. And of course, the classic tag belt that this is based on. So yeah, Reggie belts are becoming increasingly rare to come across these days. So it's always amazing to have one of these sent to me. And it's a really good looking belt. So like I said, this is based on the classic tag WWF belt. Obviously in that case, it had the WWF logo here, a little bit different shape, and it read World in red paint on the globe, and a few changes to the side plates. But overall, a very similar design. It's based on the same artwork. And of course, you can see here in the corner, the RP standing for Reggie Parks. Now, when I'm saying I'm restoring this belt, you can probably tell that a lot of the raised areas, like the wrestlers, the floral pattern, I think it is most obvious on these two plates. The plating is actually fading quite significantly. So hopefully you can tell that it started to silver up in a few areas. And that's just due to its age. I'm not entirely sure how old it is, but I would estimate it's around the 20-year mark, possibly even older. So we'll do a quick run through of the belt, and yeah, we'll just talk about this. So as you can see on the left hand side here, we have the male snap box, 2x8 snaps, and actually that snap there actually appears to be broken, so I'll have to replace that. I'll probably replace all of them, in all honesty. Like I said, restoration, I'm still to speak to the owner of this belt exactly about what we're doing, but we're going to be repairing the gold plating first of all. So I will attempt, it won't be perfect brand new, but if you've seen my NLW restoration series, similar story to that. We're going to be touching up the gold plating, hopefully bringing it back to a lot nicer condition than it is currently. It still looks really good. I must say that the leather strap is still solid. There's no tearing, there's no like over creasing where it looks like it's weakened the integrity of the leather. There's obviously some creases from the age, but given how old this belt likely is, I'm very impressed with its condition. Plate-wise, gold plating rubs off eventually over time, but the leather has been taken care of really well. Really well. On the right-hand side here, we have a custom stamp. If you can read that, it reads Wrestling Tag Team Champions. Really cool. In place of a logo plate. So on the WWF version, it did have the WWF Tag Team Champions logo plate here. 2x5 female snap set here, of course, again, the Reggie Parks signature on the end of the belt. I always do love that on the Reggie Parks signature, the edge is left unbeveled where the two G's reach over to the end of the leather. It's just a cool touch. It's done on the right-hand side, the signature in this case. A lot of the time, his signature would be on the left-hand side, but that was normally when the belts had a gold tip on this end. So I'm not sure if he did it by random what side his signature would be on or not, but in this case it's on the right hand side. I should say as well, the curve on this belt is absolutely amazing. Look at that. I can fit my whole hand pretty much underneath the belt without having, leather's flexed on the top a bit, so you can't do it all the way there, but yeah, really nice. You can see the leather cut's a little uneven, but yeah, that's kind of to be expected for belts of this age. I highly doubt the design of the strap was designed on a computer. It was probably just cut by hand and all that. So it's understandable that parts of it might be a little bit uneven. So like I mentioned, we're going to be restoring this. The snaps I'll probably have to replace, so it might be a case of having to replace the backing in that case. I'm just putting a bit of foam over this to protect the plates as I flip it over. So you can see here on the back, black leather backing, still looks really good. You can, obviously over time, the indentation of the male snaps on this side being pressed in is showing. You can see all the creasing, there's a little bit of smudging. You can see the bolts covered there, and of course, the snaps on this side. So it looks really good. It looks really solid as well. One thing I did always love about Midwest belts, Dave Milliken or Reggie Parks, is the screws, especially on the center plate, were always really central. Like the edge of the plate is, what, about here? So the edge of the plate goes around here, but the screws are about 1.5 inches in from the edge of the plate, which does give it kind of, it allows the belt to kind of have the cool look of, especially on the Winged Eagle, I know that was always the famous look of Bret Hart folding the belt up and kissing it, and you would see the bars hanging over the edges. This kind of gives the same impression, but I've always loved that about Midwest belts. So yeah, you can see there's obviously no flexibility issues in the strap, especially given the age of this belt. Really looks good. I like this a lot. When I'm talking about the restoration as well, I might have to remove the backing and replace that. Like I said, I'll speak to the owner of this belt in further detail about that, but he was suggesting there are a few bits of the backings peeling, but actually nothing major at all. You can see a little bit there, bubbling up a little bit at the top as well, but actually given the age of this belt, I would have expected it to be much worse. But yeah, like I say, we might have to replace the backing, especially if I'm replacing the snaps, because that one is broken. The rest of the snaps look a little bit dull, so I'll speak to the owner, see if we're replacing the snaps. In that case, I will remove the entirety of the backing. And to repair the gold plating, we'd already discussed that as well, because I'll probably remove all the plates, give them a good clean individually, rather than having to work around it on the strap, in which case there's always a risk of damaging the leather, spilling cleaning materials onto the leather, so probably be better just to remove all the plates. But I will be doing a video showing how I restored this belt. It won't be a full series like the NLW video that I did a while back. It will probably be contained in one video. But that being said, it's a really nice belt. I love having this in my possession. The etching, I should say, is absolutely phenomenal. I don't know how well any of this is going to show up on camera, actually, but if you've seen my worst eBay belt ever video, you would have seen the wrestlers on that were Gumby or Casper the Friendly Ghost. In this case, they actually look like people. What's that all about? Madness. And the outer side plates. Yeah, one thing I really love is look at the dot pattern on the wrestling attire and the boots. That etching is really clean. Really detailed etching. On the crown, you can see all the details in there. The feathers on the eagle especially is probably where you can see the most really fine detail. So a really nice looking belt. I'm impressed with this. And of course, again, the RP for Reggie Parks there. Yeah, so there's not really much more to talk about this belt, I don't think. You will see it again in the near future, hopefully, in that restoration video. I have no estimate when that will be happening though, so just bear with me. There will be a lot more belt videos uploaded in the meantime. But yeah, I think that's all there is to talk about this belt. This video's gone on a little longer than expected, but I just wanted to give a good overview of a really classic belt. Really nice classic. Look at that curve, it's insane. Again, the plates, of course, are 4mm as standard. Yeah, really cool looking belt. I'm really excited to get to work on this. Yeah, hopefully when we next see this, it will be in a lot newer condition, and let's see how that goes. So thank you very much for watching. If you're interested in a re-leather restoration or anything of the sort, check out my links in the description box below. That being said, subscribe to the channel to keep updated on this belt and a lot more belt videos coming soon. Thank you. Goodbye.
Yo, monkeys, it's me, DDP. And if you want to get one of the greatest belts made for you, go to Paulmartinbelts. That's right, sucker.